Hi, I wanted to just share something with you that I've gotten so many requests for, and it's around the concept or the perspective around no's. Nobody likes to hear no. It hurts our feelings. Sometimes we take it personally. We think they're rejecting us when in reality, most often they're not rejecting us. And so I want to give credit. This came from a gentleman named L.D. Pickens who shared this idea with me probably 20 or 25 years ago when he was speaking to a group. And when he was working his way through college, he sold Bibles door to door. He got a lot of rejection, lots of no's, and he had to figure out something to do because he was getting so discouraged and so disgruntled, but yet he really liked to eat, and so he needed the money. And so he thought for a moment, and he said, now wait a minute. For all the no's I get a lot of those, and then every once in a while I get a yes. So what if I figured out how many no's it took for me to get a yes on average? And so he did that. He then figured out how much he made from every yes that he got, and he divided it by the number of no's he had to get that yes. And he figured out that every single no was worth $10 to him. All of a sudden, the no's did not sting near as much. In fact, when he'd walk away from the door under his breath, where no one could hear him, he would go, yes, I just made $10. And that made such a difference to me because I love people. I love being around people. But I don't like to hear no any more than anyone else. But when I shifted that for every no I get, it's really extremely valuable because you can't get the yeses without the no's. It's kind of like in algebra. You have to have two variables to have an equation. You've got to have a yes and you've got to have a no. And so it is in any business venture. You're going to talk to more people then you're going to get yeses. And another great example that I have heard is that if you worked at a grocery store, would you only sell items that you liked? No, of course not. You would sell everything. Personally, I can't stand asparagus, but I would sell asparagus in my store. And when somebody comes in and doesn't buy something that I offer, I don't take that personally. They just don't like it. And then the most simple of examples, I want you to think back to the last time somebody offered you a piece of gum or a mint and you said no. Had nothing to do with that individual. It had everything to do with whether you needed a mint or a piece of gum at that moment. And so you weren't rejecting them. And so I think that's so important. And one of the first times I used this concept was when I was working to earn my very first car and in my company. And I needed to have that light at the end of the tunnel. I needed to know more cause and effect. What do I need to do in order to make sure it gets done? And so they shared with me, if you will get this many no's with your skill set, you will also then get enough yeses to earn the car. You know what, you guys? The no's didn't bother me anymore. In fact, when I'm feeling a little bit like a weenie about something or I'm a little intimidated or insecure, I'll do that kind of a contest with myself. I'll see how many no's I can get. Usually I will choose 100 and to just give myself a challenge to see if I can get 100 no's in a week. Let me tell you what that does. That is so powerful because all of a sudden, the no's don't bother you. You're actually excited because you know you need those no's in order to get the yeses. And in fact, sometimes you're going to go, someone gives you a yes, and in your mind, you're going, what? I need a no. It really completely shifts how you're thinking. And you know what, y'all? We know it's not so much our skill set as much as it is how we think about circumstances, people, and things that happen to us. So I pray that that helps you. Have a great day. I'm here for you. Goodbye.